Hello, my dear children. Welcome to today's class. So, what are we learning today? Today, we are learning about a very fun topic, and these are all about our facial expressions. How do we convey our message without speaking? And this is our chapter number 9, saying without speaking. So, do you think it is possible that we can convey our message to someone without talking to them, without speaking a word? I can convey my message that I am happy by showing my face, a happy face. So, if I'm angry with my children, I show them my angry face. Or if I'm sad, my face tells the other people that I'm sad. So I can convey my message to the other people just by showing my facial expressions or by showing different gestures and action with my hands. All right, so let's start reading. Understanding feelings with facial expressions. So this is an art. Whatever expressions the other person has on their face, you can tell what message do they want to convey. And because as they say, there is an old saying that our face is a mirror to our heart. Yes? So the face of a person can tell a lot about what that person is feeling or thinking. We can tell if a person is happy, sad, scared, angry, or annoyed with the expression on his face. Speaking without using words is called non-verbal communication. So when you use the words to communicate, that is your verbal communication. But when you are using only your expression, facial expressions and your hand gestures, that is non-verbal communication. So there are 8 types of non-verbal communication and sign language is one of those 8 types. Expressions of a face are a way of speaking without using words. A child who cannot speak can also tell us how he or she is feeling. So, till the time when the child becomes almost 1.5 or 2, and the child cannot speak, then also we come to know whether a child is hungry or scared or sad or in some kind of pain. How do we know that? By the facial expressions of a child or the hand gestures that he or she is showing. Yes? So, the expressions play a very important role in conveying our messages. So just imagine if I'm teaching you and I do not have any expressions on my face, I have just blank face and I'm keep on speaking. Whether you will like it or not, no, certainly you will not like it. You would like to see a person with a lot of expressions on face. Yes? So the expressions on the face of the baby tell us if the baby is happy or sad or in pain. So these are the expressions given here. Let's try to make these expressions together. Are we ready? Okay. So scared. You also try to make a scared face. Sad. Happy. Cry. Angry. So you are going to look yourself in the mirror and try to make such expressions on the face today. What is a sign language? When a person is unable to hear the words of the other people, their hearing power is not fully developed. How do they convey their message or how do they take the message of the other people? They do that with the sign language. So there is a proper sign language and every letter, every syllable has a different sign, and the people who cannot hear, they learn that sign language and convey their messages. There is one news channel when the news is being read out, in the corner, the whole news is being spoken with the sign language also for the people who cannot hear the news. So the sign language is universally accepted. The people who cannot speak at all or cannot speak clearly communicate non-verbally. They use gestures made with their hands to express themselves. These gestures made with hands to communicate feelings are the part of a language system called sign language. Sign language does not use gestures of hand only. It also includes the facial expressions and movement of the body. So, sign language, apart from making signs, our facial expressions tell that how are we feeling, and even our body movement. This language is the means of communication for the people with impaired hearing. Each gesture of hand is assigned a syllable. People with speaking problems keep on making these signs with their hands to express themselves. So, people who cannot speak, who cannot hear, use this language to convey their messages. So, this is A, this is B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, and it goes on till Z. So, if you ever get a chance to come across such a book with sign language, or you can surf internet to learn sign language, you can do that, and it will be just the additional skill that you can develop in yourself to communicate with the people who have impaired hearing or who cannot speak properly. So let's write that who are special people. Special people are the people with special needs. Why can't some people control their actions? Some people can't control their actions because their brain is not working properly, as the brain is responsible for controlling the actions of all the parts of the body. Find the word written in the sign language. So this one is A, this one is I, and this one is D. Aid. Now, what is Braille language? Braille is a system of alphabets written in raised dots to touch and read. So, there are certain dots which are being engrossed in the paper with a pin. And according to some dots are big, some are of medium size, some of them are of small size. According to that, there are a set of dots for every alphabet. People touch those dots and try to read the words and the letters written in that book. So, this device to read and write for visually impaired people and who cannot see use these patterns of the alphabet to read and write. They touch the raised dots and identify the alphabet. So, you see that one letter which is a big dot and 5 small dots make A, two big dots, one below the other, and 4 small dots make B. Similarly, there is C, D, E. So they just touch it and gradually they learn this language. And this is a device for visually impaired people. They join the alphabets to read the words. Similarly, they can punch alphabets to write down. So, their books are written in Braille script. They just touch the dots and try to join the letters to make a word. And when they have to write it, they have a pin and they make the dots according to what they have learned and write in their notebooks. So, this is a Braille script. What are the key terms that we have learned in today's lesson? Non-verbal, without using words. Sign language, gestures made by hands along with facial expressions and movements of the body to communicate with others. Script, a form of writing a language. Please remember that we can communicate in many ways. Verbal communication is done with the help of spoken words, whereas the communication done without using words is called non-verbal communication or sign language. We can also understand the feelings of the people by just looking at the expressions on their faces. Let's complete this exercise and see what have we learned today in this lesson. You have to choose the correct option. The script used by visually challenged people is called Braille. Braille is a non-verbal language. You have to tick the correct statements and cross out the wrong ones. Braille is the reading and writing script for people with mental disorders. False. Sign language helps people with hearing and speaking problems. Correct. We should avoid talking to people who cannot speak. False. You have to answer the following questions in your notebook yourself and see what have you learned till now, and we can discuss these answers in short over here. What do you mean by physically challenged people? People who have impaired sense organ or any deformed limbs. They are called physically challenged people who cannot move properly, who cannot stand properly, or who cannot hold things properly. People who cannot see, hear, or speak, they are physically challenged people. Who are mentally challenged people? People whose brain is undeveloped or not functioning properly, those are mentally challenged people. What is special about Braille script? Braille script has dots in the Braille language, and the sets of the dots represent one alphabet. The people who are visually impaired touch and read those dots, join the letters and make new words. And this is special about Braille script. Who uses sign language and for what person? People who are visually, who are impaired, who have impaired hearing, or who have speaking problems, they use sign language. And what is the purpose? To convey their messages and to receive messages. They use sign language. These are some fun-based questions which you can do yourself with your family, with your friends, and have fun with the chapter. You can download the signs of the sign language, fix them on a chart paper, hang it in your classroom, and learn about the gestures and alphabet assigned to it. Then start making small words with your hands so that if you meet certain people who are verbally or impaired, you can just do a basic conversation with them. Also, it is a delight to see an Indian classical dancer performing a dance. Okay, the dancers show their emotions with their facial expression and gestures of their hands, and these are called bhavas and mudras. So, Indian classical dance, when the Indian classical dance is performed, they are full of facial expressions. The whole story is being depicted by a dance, through a dance, and they do that with the hand mudras and their facial expressions. So if you get a chance, please learn any Indian classical dance form, or you can just watch them and see how our Indian dancers use their facial expressions and hand gestures to depict a story. That's all for today in this lesson. I hope you have learned a lot about disabled people and the kind of language they use to convey and receive messages, and how expressions play a very important role in our life. Keep learning, keep shining. Bye bye.